Magic Mage from server 243. Today I come from my Conquest account to help answer a question that has been proposed to me by several lords within my team and within a couple of the servers I have been present in, some of them even in Conquest. And the question I'm being asked is, what does the icons above the individual immortals represent? And to help understand that and answer that question for yourself, I'm going to take you through how I was able to answer the question regarding particularly a Triss skill, which is a weakening curse, as that skill has been one I've been asked about a lot frequently. And that skill particularly, I'll show you a report that I'm looking at here with regard to weakening curse, is this skill here. So it is a grace skill. And what that does is after the battle starts, the entire enemy team is disarmed, reducing the damage by 70% until the target casts their ultimate skill. And you really need to pull these skills apart and look at them word for word, almost like you're looking at a contract, or if you're looking at those old-fashioned word problems that you got in math class where you couldn't jump ahead, and know that every word has an intent and a meaning. So the first thing in this skill I want to really pay attention to is it's after the battle starts. So I know as soon as that battle starts, this skill is enacted. It's going to affect the entire team and it's going to be disarming them. So I know my entire enemy is going to have this skill. So I should see some sort of indication that the entire enemy team is being affected by weakening curse. It is going to reduce the damage that team is dealing by 70%. So I should see an icon that's showing a reduced damage by 70%. And that will last until Elcid has cast his ultimate skill. Or if he doesn't cast his ultimate skill within 45 seconds, at the end of 45 seconds, we will see Weakening Curse disengage, and Elcid will no longer have this protection as he is the only member in my entire march that I'll be sending into battle. Now that I know that this is triggered by his ultimate skill, let's look at his ultimate skill. And Elcid's ultimate skill is he reduces the physical damage inflicted on the front row troops. He's the only one in the front row troop, so he's reducing his own physical damage dealt. And when he's targeted by a normal attack, there is a 65% chance of inflicting physical damage on the enemy. So I know that as soon as the ultimate skill is enacted, it's going to be enacted by a normal attack, and my enemy will no longer have weakening curse engaged on them. Now that I know that I'm looking for a skill that pops up at the very beginning, I'm waiting until he's attacked with a normal attack, and then I should see that skill disappear for all the immortals that are playing. So I will replay this video, and I normally do this in a slow speed. I take off that ×2 button so I can really study these skills. And I know that they said this skill is enacted at the very onset of the game. So I'm going to be looking at a skill that is on every single one of my enemy units. And at the very onset of the game, there's two skills that we see. We see this guy in red with his arms in the air and a down arrow. And we see this guy in blue that's kind of encircled by a bubble. And we're going to watch this skill. We know at 45 seconds in, either that one of those skills are automatically going to disengage because he never engaged his ultimate skill, or as soon as his ultimate skill is engaged with a normal attack, we are going to see that skill that we have placed on him, Weakening Curse, dissolve. So we're watching for one or both to happen, and we're continuing to watch this. Remember that not only do troops, but dragons also will engage and provide these skills. We're continuing to observe this. So we do see here, all right, so that red man is gone on the back row there, but the blue one is still there, and we know that Elcid was attacked. We see the blue one still there, and now we have the armor in. So we know it's probably that red skill. But what does that red skill mean that's being identified as that icon above these immortals? And we just saw that he had, Elcid had that skill as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit this battle here and look at that report, because that report's going to answer a lot of these questions for us. And when we go to our report under status, I'm looking at a couple of things. The first thing I'm looking at is, when does he get a normal attack and who is dealing it? So Julius Caesar deals the most damage. He had provided 9 normal attacks. Gilgamesh also attacked. He had 10. Marca Kappa, he had a normal attack of 5, and Theodora had 8 normal attacks on El Cid. So I do know that that definitely was engaged at one point or another where Weakening Curse ended, especially since my battle time was 29 seconds. The second thing I'm going to be looking at is my enemy and what different skills they had and how those skills actually resulted in damage. So we'll notice that Poison Thorn was one of the bigger damage dealers for Caesar, followed by Normal Attack, Golden Rule. Moving on to Marca Kappa, we have the Sunflare and Normal Attack. Sunflare is his ultimate skill. Golden Capital is Gilgamesh's ultimate skill, Normal Attack, and then the Golden Capital Building is a playoff of Burning is a playoff of his normal ultimate skill. And then Theodora had Death Breath, Normal Attack, and Ambush that applied for her. So now that I understand some of the skills that were being utilized by my enemy and that I used myself, the next step for me is to look at the dragons and what skills they had engaged. So this dragon has Judgment Roar, 90% of inflicting disarm on all enemy units, reducing the damage they deal by 35%. So he's going to be reducing damage. This one here is Divine Protection. It also reduces the damage taken by my allied units by 25%. So I'm going to expect to see some sort of green icon with a positive sign for us, showing that they are reducing the damage they're taking. He's also going to put in place a protective effect that's for 1% of the troops lost, and it increases the immortals' attack and defenses for by 30 until the battle ends. So once that is engaged, it continues on for the entire battle for us. This is important for us to know. And the skills that El Cid's Lightning Dragon has is true damage to all the enemy units, increasing the damage they receive from the ultimate skill, so increasing El Cid's ultimate damage. And the second one is reducing the damage dealt by 3 random enemy units. So we should see a reduction as well for damage dealt by the enemy unit. Now, again, pay close attention. Reduction of damage. We will see that. We should see the same thing here for reducing the damage. So whenever the dragon is able to enhance, and this has a 90% chance of reducing damage, so it's likely we're going to see that icon pop up on 3 enemies once that skill is engaged for our dragon. We'll see it again for Weakening Curse. We'll see it again for his enemies when they're reducing the damage on El Cid. So 90% chance, high chance that we'll see the same symbol on El Cid at one point during this battle. And then we'll see it again with the skills that are probably in one of these immortals. I have to pull them up to look at them a little closer. But I know at least his dragon's going to 90% chance, I'm going to say high probability that El Cid will see some reduction of damage symbol. Same thing for my dragon, putting it on their immortals, and I'll see it for Weakening Curse at the very beginning. So when we replay this again, I'm looking for a symbol that's going to show up on both my immortal, on all 4 immortals at the beginning of the game, which is this one here. The blue came in second, so I can confirm exactly that this red symbol here with the guy in the arms up and the red symbol down exemplifies reduced damage. But at this point right now, that guy with the red arms in the air, the down symbol in display above the immortals at the beginning of the game, I'm having a sneaking suspicion it's showing reduced damage. But for me to confirm that, I need to rule out some other opportunities. So for me to do that, what I did is I actually took all the skills off of El Cid and just kept my dragon and El Cid. And the reason why I was able to take all the skills off El Cid is because my dragon actually has the skill of reduced damage. So that should be the only icon I would be expecting to see in a battle from my enemy on my enemy unit that I am delivering. So I'm going to go to my battle reports because I have done this already. We're going to go all the way down to one of these guys down here. Where are you? There you are. And we're going to view this battle. So like I said, I took all the skills off of El Cid. I was able to just keep my dragon with the reduced damage on him. And when I replay this video, I should expect just to see that red guy and nothing else really impacting my enemy unit. So we'll see here if that actually comes into effect when the dragon plays. So that's their dragon here. We're going to continue going through. We shouldn't see that symbol yet. We have one here. Yeah, so we just see that here. And we did actually notice when he came into play, there was actually a sign that said reduce damage. But we're going to continue watching here. Let me go back and we'll replay this one more time. All right. And we're going to replay it one more time. Take off the replace it. And we're going to pause it just as soon as that dragon comes in here. So it's decreased magical defense, and we'll notice that's on. So once that's triggered, it's telling us, and then it's staying on for as long as it's being triggered for that immortal. So we'll just notice that that did say decreased damage. We have it on, and we'll notice that it's staying on these immortals right now. So let's continue playing our battle. You'll notice increased physical defense. So these are all different things. That was probably triggered by El Cid's ultimate skill. And we'll notice that the dragon had that decreased physical damage on it the whole time. So let's just go back to our reports here. We're going to look at our dragon. He had the lightning streak and the dark breath corruption that went into play. And then El Cid's damage was done by normal attacks and the dragon's dark breath. When we look at our enemy units, we should see within the damage taken for them our lightning streak, and that would be the one we'd expect to see that physical damage on from. Reason being is lightning streak has the true damage here, increasing the damage they receive from ultimate skills. This one would be lightning cage, reducing the damage they dealt. So you won't see that as damage on the damage report because it's reducing the damage that they're dealing out. So when we go back, we should only see lightning streak. We will not see the lightning cage, but we should see that symbol within our replay of the reports, which we did. And it does indicate 90% chance of reducing the damage by 3 enemy units. We will only see it on 3 for 37% for 12 seconds. So let's play this again. Watch the video, and when it comes into engagement, we'll make sure that it's not replaying the others. And we're waiting for the dragon to cast his ultimate skill there. That's one. Still waiting for ours. That's right there. So we're looking at about 12 seconds. I believe this battle is going to end sooner than that time frame. So we'll see this skill on the entire time. We're continuing to play. Dragon places it again. And there we go. So why should you care? Why would you want to tease apart all this information and really look at these reports in this way and rewatch the same video over and over again as you've seen even in my display I had done? The reason is, once you understand the symbols that are displayed above the immortals and what they signify and how that interrelates with the skills that you have assigned on your team and the enemy has assigned on their own team, you will then start to understand how those skills are enacted, how you can counteract them, and how you can be more of a defensive and offensive player. So when you're going into different battles, you'll understand really how to create your lineup, where to place your immortals, what skills to place on what immortal, and why that immortal would benefit for that skill. Now, we know that this weakening curse is triggered once the ultimate effect skill is in place for our immortal. So if I were to really build a team, I would never put weakening curse on El Cid, because realistically, his skill is going where he's going to have a negative effect hit him is pretty much 100% guarantee. He's going to have some immortal in some battle have that negative effect attack him, and it's definitely going to be with almost 100% confidence before the 45 seconds. So I would never put this skill on El Cid. However, for the purposes of this demonstration, because I had limited immortals and because I wanted to show exactly what happened when the ultimate skill came into play, he was a good choice for the demonstration. Click here. First skill is Lightning Cage, reducing the damage dealt. That's the skill we want to see engaging. Let's triple check it one more time because I like to really make sure I'm right. So we're looking at this skill to be cast first for that red symbol that was showing up here. We're continuing to go. That one is engaged first, so we should see it, and it's reduced damage. And it's 12 seconds that should be on. The game doesn't last 12 seconds at that point because it was a very slow, quick battle. So we'll go backwards again and look at those battle statistics. Under the stats, the battle lasts 10 seconds, so we know as soon as he engaged that skill, it stayed on for the rest of the battle for us. We'll also see that it was this skill that enacted reducing the damage, so I can confirm that because reducing damage is the only thing the skill is really doing for 3 of the random enemies, that symbol does show that, and we'll see again it's on 3 of those enemies. So be playing this video again, we're watching it one more time, and this is really how I tease apart these skills and understand when they're engaged and how they're being engaged, and each one acts slightly differently, so you really have to determine if it's something that we're seeing here or on battle reports. It's 1, 2, it's not in this one here. Let's continue on. We should see it on that back guy there, and it is on that back guy. So we do know that it is on 3 of the enemy units on this. So I am convinced that that symbol there is the physical damage reduction that is going on our enemy units from the skill, because weakening curse does reduce the physical damage dealt. You're going to see on the reports when you're replaying those videos that same skill you would see for that lightning dragon there. I hope this answers some of your questions and allows you to also tease apart the different elements of your own skills and engaging with these reports, both the visual aspect and the written reports, because you need to look at both of them to really put the puzzle together. One in itself is not always enough. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please leave a comment in the comment section below. And remember to like and subscribe for future content. And I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you and have a wonderful day.